So first I want to start by saying thank you to everybody for joining. It's really great to have you all here. I hope you all know you can call me directly or email me directly anytime with your questions. I'm here from 8 to 5 Pacific time, so just reach out and I'll help you with anything and everything I can. The first thing I want to cover today is that pre-filing is open. We are accepting forms for the 18-19 tax year. Usually the IRS begins issuing stamp Schedule 1s on July 1st, but this year that's a Sunday, so it could be the 2nd before things start coming back, the first business day of the month. But we'll be running them all weekend, trying to get them through as fast as we can. So go ahead and push those through, get them on my desk, and I will take care of them as quickly as possible. And don't forget, I know a lot of people this time of year run into trouble with their registration. They're trying to get license plates, and the tag office wants to see the 18-19 Schedule 1. Nobody can get that until the IRS begins issuing them in July. So if they're asking you for it, it's because they don't quite understand the law. And if you click this link right here, it will take you to the actual tax law, which is section 41.60012B, which says that this basically doesn't expire. The 17-18-2290 doesn't expire until September 30th. You can use it for registration through September 30th. It's also in the instructions of the Form 2290, so both of those references are here for you. And you can always get that. It's just right up here in the pre-filing link, so if you need it, you can get it there, or you can email me and I'll send it to you. Either way. So that's the first topic. The second topic is just some tips and tricks on client management. So hopefully most of you have seen this tool before and used it before. It's a really great way to start your returns without having to type all the same information over and over again. But the thing I want to point out first and foremost is this right here. You can sort this list by active and inactive. And you can decide what is active and inactive with this checkbox here. So what active means is it's a client that's an active client of yours. It's somebody you're doing work for right now. What inactive means is it's maybe somebody you don't want to see all your work for right now. You don't want it to go away. You still want to have the history. You don't want to delete anything, but you don't need it in your face. So to make somebody inactive, it's really easy. You just uncheck the box and update the client. And then they're not going to be in your drop-down menu right here anymore. You can always go back and get them, though, if you want to change that and bring them back to an active client by sorting on inactive right here, and then clicking the checkbox back and updating. This list should always default to active clients, so you can always see what is most important to you right now. But we don't delete anything. Everything is going to be there for you. It's just in a different place. So I know some of you have duplicate customers, or you'll have a customer that got a new EIN number and you might get confused which one you need to do. Just inactivate the old one, the duplicate one, and it won't be in your face anymore. You'll only have the good stuff to start with. Okay. The second thing I want to point out here are these two Excel exports right here. Okay, we've got a list of all your customers under Client List, which I will show you right here. So you can just export all of your customers onto an Excel spreadsheet. It gives you all this great detail about who your customers are. I have people that print this out each year and use it as a checklist to make sure they get everybody done. But whatever, or they'll use it for billing, so they make sure they bill everybody. Whatever you need, it's here for you. We also have what we call the unfiled list. So this is a list of everybody that you have filed for in the past, but not yet for the current tax period. So right now that's the 17-18. And that looks like this. So we'll give you a list of your customers along with their names and phone numbers and the last time you filed for them, the last tax year you filed for them. Makes it really easy to make sure nobody is slipping through the cracks, right? You don't forget anybody. Okay. The last thing I want to show you in this area is if we go to the fleet list, you can also export the list of trucks. So this customer has quite a lot of trucks. If I don't want to work with that on the screen here, I can just export it to Excel. It looks like this. It gives you the unit numbers, the VIN numbers, the weight category code, whether they're suspended and logging, Really nice is the last file date on here, so the last time you filed for these trucks, whether or not you claimed a refund on those trucks, okay, and the reason for that refund. So this fleet list also shows the tax amount paid most recently. So a lot of times my clients will call and they'll say, hey, I need to know how much tax I paid on my 2290. This is a really great way to get that on an Excel spreadsheet for them, and you can just sum it up at the bottom. Makes it real easy. Okay. So those are the 4 tips and tricks I wanted to show you for client management. And if you have any questions, I'll open it up for questions at the end. The next thing I wanted to show everybody was some tips and tricks for client status here. I want to again draw attention to this area right here, because you can organize this screen, which I'm sure is getting quite long for many of you, by the tax year. So if you're just looking for something from last tax year, you can sort it by that and it will only show you that. Makes it easier to find things. You can also look for just one customer at a time with this drop-down menu. So I've only done one tax return here for Donald Duck, and I can see that it was never finished. So it makes it really easy to find things depending on what you're looking for. I also want to show you that most of these column headings, wherever you get the underline like that, are sortable. So I can sort these by EIN number to make things easier to find, by company to make them easier to find. I can sort them by the date they were filed to make them easier to find. We tried to make this all really, really flexible so that it would be really easy for you to get what you were looking for. Okay, so that covers the client status page. The next thing I want to show you is the resume page, because we've added this cancel button. In the past, you guys haven't had a way to get rid of returns you had started but not finished. And now we have given you a cancel button. It doesn't go away. It's not deleted. It just gets out of your face, so to speak. It puts it out of the way. So all I have to do is click cancel, and it just goes away. If you ever cancel the wrong one and you need it back, it's on your client status page. We'll just search for Jane Fonda here. And you can call me or email me with this return ID number, and I can put it back to incomplete for you so you can resume it anytime. So nothing is lost. It's just moved out of your way. Are there any questions so far about those quick tips and tricks? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no, but you always can email or call me directly if you have any questions you want to talk about privately. I'm always here to help you out. The last thing I really want to talk with you guys about is just to let you know that on the 1819 tax form this year, there is an option to pay taxes with a credit or debit card. For my fleets that are on the line, this is probably not a very big deal. You probably already know how you want to pay taxes, and all the same options are there for you, just as they always have been. So you can use EFTPS, you can do an ACH from your bank account, or you can mail a check or money order. All that is still there, but as a new option this year, there's the credit card. And for preparers, for my preparers with their list of clients, I think this is an interesting place for you to be, because I know your customers are probably like my customers. They're going to call you up as soon as they see this, and they're going to say, what's this, and can I pay my taxes this way? How do I make this work? And so I wanted to let you guys know that it was there and give you a couple options for how you can help your customers. The first one is, many of you probably already do this for other taxes that you prepare, is you can let them pay you with your credit card, and you can forward a check or money order on their behalf. You can do that as a service for them, just like you've always done it. The other option is to send them to irs.gov/payments, where the IRS has ways that you can pay with a debit or credit card. I want to caution you, though, if you're going to send your customers here, these are private companies that they have approved to do this. So just like I'm a private company that e-files 2290s, these guys are all private companies that accept tax dollars on behalf of the IRS. And they charge a fee. They're always going to charge a fee. So if you are comfortable sending your customers to a third party where they're going to get charged a fee, that's fine with me. It's just about what's the best thing for you and your customers. A lot of these companies, though, will also e-file, so you want to be careful and make sure you tell them only pay your tax. I already filed your form. Don't file your form again. You don't want them to get dinged twice, basically. I am not going to be offering this credit card option to my preparers and fleets at this time, but I am going to be sending out a survey probably sometime in the next 90 days asking you guys if you'd like me to do that, and if you'd like me to do it, how you'd like me to do it. It's a little weird for me to, because I would have to charge for the service as well, so it's a little weird for me to want to do that for your customers. But if it's something that you need help with, I want to be there to help you out. So I'll be surveying you guys and getting your opinions about that sometime in the next 90 days, and we'll see what you guys want us to do, and that'll be the direction that we go. I've got a couple questions on the chat here. If you pay with a credit card, will the reference state the customer name and EIN number on the receipt? So you can't pay me with a credit card, if I'm understanding that question correctly, so I won't be giving back any information. But if you're using one of these services, I do believe they give you 2 receipts, one for your tax payment and one for their service charge, but you'd have to check with those companies specifically. I don't know that they're all the same or if they have different ways of doing things. Another question that came in, will we accept credit card payments sooner or later? Kind of covered that. I'm going to be interested in what you guys want us to do, and I want to help in the ways that you guys need help. And that's all I really had for you today. I wanted this to be pretty quick and easy. Are there any other questions? You can chat them in or you can speak them out, whatever works. Okay, here's one that's come in on the chat. Does the client have to make payment themselves if paying with a credit card? Okay, if your client is going to pay you with a credit card, that's totally fine. I would suggest you choose to pay with a voucher by mailing in a check on the website, and then you can forward that payment from your office however you want. If they're going to go to this irs.gov/payments website, I would recommend the customer do that themselves. Yeah, there are a lot of ways the card companies are cracking down on fraud, and the kind of things they can measure are really getting scary. So if you're going to be putting in your customer's credit card, it may get declined because they think it's fraud because you're not in the same location as them, or who knows. So yes, if your client is going to make payment with a credit card, I recommend that they do it themselves. Okay, and I have a question here about putting in previous VIN numbers without retyping it. So yeah, let me show you how to do that. You would start by going into Client Management, and you'd pick your customer. Let's go to this company. And then you'd go right in here into Manage Client Fleets, and all the VINs we have history for are here. So you would just check the one or the many that you wanted to pay tax on, and then start your return. All of step 1 is going to be filled in for you because you have that information saved on the website. And then on step 2, it will ask if you want to pull vehicles from the fleet list. And by just clicking that button, it'll bring it in for you without you having to type it. And you can do that with as many VINs as you have. There's not a, I think the most my website can handle is like 5,000 or 8,000 or something like that, but it should be plenty. It should be as much for as many as you need. Okay. Any other questions?
Hi, Casey. This is Abbas with Deloitte. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. I actually went through the new Form 2290 instructions, and it appears that besides credit card, there are 2 more updates that were provided for this year. And one of them is the change of address from for amended returns, I believe. How is that going to impact when it comes to e-filing them? I mean, I know for now, if you're doing a VIN correction or filing a rate increase tax return, we usually do that via 2290tax.com. But is that going to impact the e-filing in any way?
I am going to have to look into that in greater detail and get back to you. There were no changes in the e-file schema in regards to amendments or name corrections or address corrections or changes. So I'll have to read through the instructions in greater detail and make sure that I can do that. Tell me your name one more time.
Abbas, A-B-B-A-S as in Sam, and I'm with Deloitte, D-E-L-O-I-T-T-E.
Good. I will get back to you on that later today.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I think there was one more option that I'm not sure if, I've not been e-filing lately, my team does, but I just have to get on this webinar to see what other information I need to know. There was another new thing that they said was the month of first use on Schedule 1.
Yes. Okay. So let me show you that on the form here.
Okay.
But this is not the full form. Okay. Give me just 1 second to pull up the draft form. The IRS hasn't actually released it yet, I don't think.
I have it available on me if you would like me to email it to you.
Okay. So on the Schedule 1 this year, if this will load, they are adding the tax period that this is for. And I don't know how this is going to impact people come registration, and I don't know how this is going to impact people at the tag office. But they're putting it here on the form, and they must be doing it for a reason. I'm going to be doing some more research as soon as I can get IRS on the phone. They're ducking my calls right now, so I'm working to get them so I can ask some of these questions. But it is going to be here on the form. There's nothing new you need to do on the website. You're already putting that information in on the website, so this is just an extra place where they are displaying it. Did I answer your question?
Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. And I'll call or shoot you an email later today to get you the answer about the address change stuff.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Casey, this is Rita from Consult Trans.
Hi, Rita.
Hi. In Part 2 of the Form 8453EX 4A, it indicates requesting a refund. Is that possible through your site, or is that something that needs to be filed by paper with IRS?
We do not e-file the 8849 and Schedule 6 request for refund. You can on the website here, let me just show you. Oops, I've got to pick a text here.
Unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything.
Oh,
on my
you're not
computer.
seeing the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're
But
Rita
if you
at
tell
Consult
me-
Trans, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. On step 3, there is a place titled Request for Credit. And you can claim credits on the 2290 for vehicles that were sold or traded, vehicles that were destroyed, and vehicles that were stolen. But the credit amount cannot exceed the taxes due. So if you have more credit than tax, that's technically a refund, and the 2290 is not a refund form. So you can get your taxes down to $0, but you can't go negative 1 penny. If you have more refund to claim, then we do suggest that you paper file the 8849 and Schedule 6. There are services out there that will e-file it for you, but in our experience, it's not any faster to e-file it than to mail it in. Maybe 1 or 2 days for the time it takes in the mail, and we'd have to charge for that, and for a lot of people that would eat up the value of their refund. So we do have the forms available for you in our support center on the documents page so that you can find them really easy, and we have a YouTube video on our YouTube page about filling out the forms to make it as easy as possible. But credit is different than a refund. You can do credits on your 2290. Refunds you got to do on paper.
Gotcha. Thank you for that.
My pleasure. Anything else I can help anybody with? Okay, well then if there aren't any other questions, I'll conclude the webinar here. Please always know you can email me at casey@2290tax.com, or you can call the office and talk to anybody on my staff. We're always going to be here to help you out. That's how we like to do business. And if you forget anything or have any questions later, just reach out and let us know. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll stay on the phone until everybody's gone in case somebody has a last-minute question, but let me know if there's anything I can do, all right?
Thank you. Thank you, Casey.
Thanks, Casey. Thank you, everybody.